We've seen some fantastic headlines about energy prices for the consumers going up by 25%. Businesses are facing energy prices over 12 months, sometimes at the increase of 50 to 70%. It's really important now that they do everything they can to reduce the impacts of those bills, and the best way to do that is through energy efficiency. The amount of money that businesses can save through energy efficiency is quite significant. We estimate that numbers of in excess of 20% of the energy bill can be cut off by doing no-cost and low-cost measures at a business. Carbon Trust's mission is to help business to understand the opportunities here, to help them to understand the savings that they can make through energy efficiency, to provide advice and guidance to get them saving energy and money right now. In this film, we're going to be looking at motors and drives. Now, motors and drives are one of the biggest users of energy in a manufacturing site. So one of the Carbon Trust's energy consultants is going to walk us around the Indesit plant, and we're going to see the ways in which we can reduce energy and save money by looking at motors and drive. And we're going to see 5 top tips of things that we can do now.
The Blythe Bridge site produces cooking products, everything from built-in hobs right the way through freestanding cookers up to large range products. The energy bill is over £1 million for electricity and gas added together. We're setting ourselves target reductions, and across the 4 manufacturing sites we're expecting to save over £100,000 basically year on year. Also, we recognise that the Carbon Trust has got the necessary technical and managerial expertise that we would need to run a successful energy management programme. Obviously, one of the successful parts of an energy saving programme has to be the implementation, and through the process of implementation we've had help from an expert, a consultant on energy efficiency, who has come along and visited our site and taken us through some of the more difficult aspects of it.
Motors and drives often go unnoticed, yet they're prolific in industry. Pumps, fans, air compressors, hydraulics, pneumatics, the list is endless. In fact, motors use 2/3 of energy consumption within industry. That's why they're a good area to start for energy efficiency. When purchasing or replacing motors, recognise that the capital cost of a motor is a fraction of the energy costs through its operating life. When a motor fails, don't rewind the motor. Buy a new motor. It's likely to be 1 to 3% more efficient than a rewind. When selecting new motors for purchase, always look for the higher efficiency motors. Here are an example of 3 higher efficiency motors. These will typically be 3 to 5% more efficient than your old motor. So when your motors fail, or when you're buying new motors, always consider the life cycle costs and consider energy efficiency. Industrial motors are often left running unnecessarily. Here we have an example of a support system. This back filter here is supporting the oven powder coating process. Now, at the end of the day, the process operators leave it running. This is a 15 kilowatt motor, so it consumes significant energy. The tip here is make sure that all your motors are switched off when processing is finished. And here we are in the press shop, and we have a large number of motors here running, some of which are 50 kilowatts, just running idling, waiting for the next pressing action to happen. When you've got idling motors, they can consume up to 40% of the full load current for absolutely no purpose. So here's an opportunity to use load sensing optimizers. They reduce the power to the motor while it's idling, and typically can save you 20% during its operation. So here we have a typical motor that's working at constant speed, driving the raw water pumps that provide the pressurised water to the factory ring main. The demand for water varies, and as that demand varies, this pump at constant output relieves the pressure through a pressure relief valve back into the reservoir. Here we have an opportunity to use a variable speed control to control the speed of this pump so that it reduces to match the pressure requirements in the ring main. Here we have the variable speed drive that's been fitted to this motor. It allows us to run the pump at variable speed so that we can regulate the pressure in the raw water ring main. This is the pressure regulator and allows us to control the actual pressure of delivery very, very closely and gives us better process control. This box cost about £3,000 to fit, yet it's saving £3,500 a year. That's a payback period of 10 months. The reason to use variable speed drives is that if we can reduce the speed of a motor by only 20%, we halve the energy consumption. The tip here is to look around all of your motors and identify where variable speed controls can be fitted. And here we have an example of a press driven by a motor using a V-belt drive. Whenever you have V-belt drives, make sure that they're well aligned and there is no slippage. This can lead to significant energy waste, perhaps in the order of 3 to 5%. It's even better still to use a direct coupled motor. This is where the motor drives the process directly and hence there is minimal loss.
The 5 energy-saving tips are: choose energy-efficient motors. Always switch motors off when not in use. Think about load-sensing optimizers. They can save energy. Fit variable speed drives. They save energy and improve control. Choose direct drives over belt drives, gears and pulleys.
We'd recommend working closely with the Carbon Trust for any organisation that was serious about reducing their energy bill and the environmental impact of the energy that they use. Carbon Trust have given us very, very useful technical assistance, and quite often most of their help and advice is free.
If you're ready to start saving energy and money today, call the Carbon Trust.
Hello, the Carbon Trust customer advice line.
We can give you information on all our services, expert advice and support, on-site surveys and energy efficiency loans. So if you want to start saving energy and saving money, call us now on 0800 085 2005.